gave great value for money. That's another point. So I would definitely recommend it.
Hello, everyone. So today we have Gerhard from Dr. Pappert Consulting, and he's the founder of the company. They work primarily in healthcare space. He was one of our attendees in last year's not just Amaze Conference, but also the Amaze Mastermind. So today we're gonna understand and listen from him. How was his experience and everything? So before that, Gerhard, welcome to the show, and could you please tell us about yourself and your company to the audience?
Right. Hey, Ravi, nice to see you again. It's been a while. Yeah, amazing experience. So what I do, I'm a scientist by training. I have a small team with medical doctors and scientists, and we do marketing for medical companies, biotechs, some pharma, some medical technology. So basically making all the laboratory stuff, the diagnostic stuff, interesting, accessible for different audiences like doctors, patients, scientists. And we do classical content marketing, websites, white papers, infographics, and some campaigns and the usual SEO stuff around that. And that's how I also found you on your conference last year. Good to see you.
Would you like to tell the audience how was your overall experience of coming to India and then attending Amaze Mastermind and Amaze Conference?
All right. Honestly, I could not have asked for a better introduction. It was an amazing time, both on the business side and also on the travel side. I love to travel, and I normally stay at least half of the year in other countries. So I have my home base in Germany, and then I go to Asia for the winter, or Mexico, or other places. So India, I was always curious, but also my friends, they send me all these memes of, you'll get sick. All my friends actually went to India, got sick. So honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect. Of course, it has all the amazing culture and the spiritual sides. It also has poverty, and it has like challenges. So getting there in a group where you and your team organized it so well, it was really an amazing insight into the country. We've seen, I think, 5 or 6 different places within that week. Also traveling together in a group of, like-minded entrepreneurs, where you make connections, you have business conversations, and it's just very casual and natural.
So during Mastermind, one of the things which we saw was the friendships that developed out of all those 7-8 days that we spent together, and all those conversations that happened. I still remember, I think, hundreds of such conversations which I had with everybody throughout those 7-8 days. How about you? Do you remember any of those conversations? And if yes, what was that one conversation that actually either changed your life or your business, or you still remember that conversation? What is that one conversation?
Well, let me give you a few. So obviously it was a small team, just enough so you can actually build some connections to everyone. A few people I already knew from another business community. Alan, who also gave a speech, for example, on sales training. That was also an older connection. All these little nuggets, sometimes it's casual stuff. Like Ted, I remember he talked about people trying to stuff all these keywords into text, and it's annoying for the writers, and then just add like a carousel of additional stuff that is more technical. So there will be the SEO conversation, the human conversation for people who actually want to read that. Sounds basic, but it's actually it's very useful. When I tell it to clients, they also get it. Mads gave a good presentation on like building a team and also delegation. It's a thing that I find it difficult, delegating stuff. I think Kira she talked about international SEO and these cultural differences, the cultural sensitivities. If you're selling in Russia, I know people want to get the best deal. In the US, it's about quality and delivery, and if you're fast, they're also willing to pay a premium. I guess Australia was price sensitive, and all these little nuggets. I also really liked Navneet's talk on the changes in the SEO world when it comes to AI. That was like very hands-on and very, stuff you could just apply right away.
And that's so good. So tell us more about that. How does that differ from the traditional local SEO that most of us do? What's the major three differences?
So it's all B2B. So that's the first thing. And it's a long sales cycle. And there's always this trade-off between we want to have innovation and we don't want to be boring, but we also have to be really careful because it's highly regulated, the medical, the pharma field. If you make any claims you can't back up, you get sued. So also when it comes to websites, clients say, oh, we have a boring website, make this interesting. But then you also don't want to end up in the traditional like blue and white website. You have a scientist looking at some diagnostics, and it's very cliched.
And what part of the world most of your clients are? Are they like Germany or they are like worldwide?
It's actually more international than German. It's global.
Yeah, and if we could just take this whole conversation towards Amaze a bit, because I was talking to few other people in last couple of weeks, and that's what they said me that Ravi, we are based in, let's say, US. We have most of our clients in US. Why should we come to Amaze conference? Because India is not our market. So do you think does it matter or like that you should only go to conferences which are happening in the regions where you are serving the client? Is it like really very important?
It's a good question. So all the technical stuff, obviously, that's universal. So it doesn't really matter if you're sitting in India or in fact, all the technical work is often done offshore, or let's say you have American agencies, and then the actual tech implementation is done somewhere else. Of course, you do have the technical, the cultural differences, as we just talked about. Also, I think aesthetics, like design, there's a difference, but that is a different topic. I mean, the speakers, you had people from all over the world. You had, I think, 10 nationalities even in that mastermind. Also, it's more fun, if you can combine travel and work, and why should it be in your home country only?
That gives a chance to visit other countries. But that's cool. So let's say if you have a friend sitting somewhere in the globe, like in Europe or US somewhere, and if he gives you a call that, hey, Gerhard, I was looking at this amazeconference.com or amazemastermind.com, and I saw that you were part of Amaze last year. What will you say to that friend about Amaze 2026?
Okay. First of all, it will be highly inspiring. It will be a lot of fun. And just because it's maybe a place they wouldn't consider immediately, and have an open mind, that's important. Get inspired, and also expect some high quality speakers and very helpful, easy to connect to experts. And I think that all speaks for itself. And you gave great value for money. That's another point. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Awesome, thank you. So let's do a few quick rapid fire type of a thing where you don't have to think, you have to just give whatever comes to your mind. Okay. So in 2026, what wins, SEO or AI or both?
Both.
One word to describe Amaze 2025.
Amazing.
Last question. If you want to dedicate a song to Amaze 2025, what will be that song?
It had to be this. I don't know the title, but I know the artist, the Punjabi MC. I read up on this song, and it's actually an English guy, and they made it in Malaysia. But it's so Indian, and it has this happy, energetic sound. I think this is my India song.
Thank you for being our guest at Amaze Voices. This is the podcast which we are doing with all the attendees who have attended last year, so that we could understand what we did well, how we could improve, and what else we could bring to Amaze 2025. And for all the people who are listening to this podcast, if you are still thinking whether you should go or not, If you are in some other part of the country, of the world, let's say you're sitting in US or UK or Australia, and you're still trying to find a reason to come to India, listen to this podcast. And I'm pretty sure you'll find your reason, because in business, it is said you have to take decisions, because when you take decisions, you get an outcome, whether positive, negative, that's a separate thing. But taking decision in your business is very important. So if you are coming to Amaze Conference, I'll be your host. And if you see me there, give me a hi. I'm more than happy to have nice and long conversation with everyone coming to Amaze 2025. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Gerhard. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, Ravi. Pleasure.